Here we go, the Monday edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Even if you're not a true weather geek, if you just have a passing interest in the weather, I think you'll find these videos to be pretty informative. We go really in depth here, not only on the kind of the short term and medium term forecast going out 5-7 days, but we always kind of take a little bit of a peek at the trends in the longer range as well, including sometimes going out a month or two just to see what the latest climate models are showing. But, well, we're going to start with the near term, of course. As I hit record here at about 7:35 p.m., Pittsburgh has still not canceled the severe thunderstorm watch for their counties, but they will before too much longer. The threat is over. I've been kind of editorializing all afternoon on this severe thunderstorm watch. Thought it was issued for way too many counties, too far to the south. The threat was going to be very marginal and probably confined to areas north of I-80. If you go back and follow my tweets and Facebook posts, I've been, kind of singing that song for several hours, and well, sure enough, severe weather really didn't materialize here locally. We had some heavy storms with a lot of lightning and thunder, but those are diminishing as we speak and exiting Mercer County. Well, most of you are watching this well after I hit record, so some of this information a little outdated, but keeping a close eye on what's going on to the west, because this could have implications as we head into tomorrow morning. So let's take a look at the short-term model here, the high-resolution rapid refresh. Bring up the latest and greatest version here, and what happens out to the west is a cold front's pushing into unstable air, and there should be another flare-up of showers and storms as we go through the overnight. Now here's the simulated radar on the HRRR model, HRR, if you will. At 1 a.m., showers and storms perhaps getting set to return to Toledo and Detroit. By 4 a.m., they'll be making some eastward progress. Now, is this severe? I think it's marginal. This is coming at the wrong time of the night. A lot of times you can get big severe weather outbreaks in the middle of the night, but they happen more often out across parts of the upper Midwest, like they had last night, parts of the northern Great Lakes. This part of the south and east, it's more uncommon to get a lot of severe weather in the wee hours of the morning. But nonetheless, there should be a round of showers with some thunder coming in right getting close to daybreak. This is 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 a.m., some showers and thunderstorms around to kick off our Tuesday. So Jess will keep you updated on WFMJ today, tomorrow morning, with latest radars and what you can expect. But the threat for rain is going to end pretty quickly. This is 8 a.m. and 9 a.m., and everything's kind of shifting off to the south. Switch over to the NAM model here and show you that by lunchtime, everyone's out of the woods. In fact, the front continues sinking south and east tomorrow, and it should turn out to be a great afternoon. Humidity levels will be dropping. There's going to be some big storms eastern PA, parts of West Virginia, the Delmarva tomorrow, but for us, dew points will be dropping, humidity levels dropping, sunshine. It'll be a great end of the day tomorrow, and then open up the windows tomorrow night. We should be in great shape. Those low temperatures tomorrow night. Let's take a peek at those. Let's look at the lows a little deeper into the night. Bear with me for just a second here, because this is important. It's going to be an open up the windows kind of a night. Check out the GFS temperatures. They have mid-50s by Wednesday morning. That'll feel awfully refreshing. So that's something to look forward to for Wednesday morning. And overall, I think Wednesday is going to be a great day. We'll have sunshine. We'll have low humidity, seasonable temperatures around 80, all thanks to high pressure just south and east of Chicago on the weather map Wednesday morning. So, boy, that's a great day to mow the grass or do anything you want to do outdoors coming up on Wednesday. Now let's take a look at Thursday. That'll be the 24th, right? Yeah. No, the 25th is Thursday. Yeah, the 25th is Thursday. I'm all confused about my dates. All right, here comes our next weather maker for Thursday. After a beautiful day Wednesday, low pressure is going to be cruising through the Great Lakes on Thursday, and it's going to, I think, bring some wet weather on Thursday. Now, this, to me, doesn't look like a washout kind of a day, but there'll be some showers here and there. How warm it gets Thursday will greatly depend on the track of this low as it comes across. If it tracks far enough north, I should say, it'll drag in some warm air. If it goes a little farther south, kind of a raw day possible on Thursday. If this low is more down here as opposed to up here, we'll be in the cool sector, and it may not be much better than 70, 72 degrees coming up on Thursday. So that's a forecast we'll have to fine-tune. Head into the end of the week on Friday, and there could be a leftover shower Friday as everything kind of stalls out here. Overall, maybe just kind of a cloudy, cool, clammy day. It may not rain much, but Friday, day where, again, we're in the lower 70s at best. Probably a lot of clouds around. Well, never too early to start thinking about the weekend. And here's a look at Saturday. I think Saturday is likely to be the wetter half of the upcoming weekend as moisture continues to kind of stall across the Ohio Valley. And then by Sunday, that should be pretty much trying to get out of our hair. Now, the GFS, the latest version, continues to linger moisture. Other models have a drier idea, and that's what our forecast has right now, the drier idea for Sunday. But plenty of time to figure that out throughout the week. All right, much advertised pattern change coming. Posted about this on my weather blog this morning, ericwfmj.com. Here's basically what I talked about. The pattern, which has featured a big ridge over the southeast over here, and has been responsible for a conveyor belt of moisture like this. Well, the pattern's changing. The ridge is going to kind of reorient itself way out west, and we're going to get into the pattern we had in the winter. Well, it's June and getting into July, so of course it's not going to snow. It'll be cold, but with a huge ridge out here, no choice but to have a trough downstream from that. So a trough of low pressure setting up shop by this weekend and early on next week, and probably all the way to the 4th of July. Here's the final day of June. Here's the 2nd of July. Same overall pattern. Ridge in the west, trough over the Great Lakes in the northeast. And since it's the heart of summer, it's not going to be cold, but it'll be below average. We'll spend a lot of time with highs in the 70s, perhaps even lower 70s. Comfortable weather. The air conditioners are going to be getting a rest. And we're not going to have a heat wave anytime soon. There's no 90 in store for the next 2 weeks. In fact, we'll be hard-pressed to hit 85 over the next couple of weeks. So that's the overall trend, probably through at least the 4th of July. What happens after that remains to be seen. But as you can see on our 16-day GFS ensemble temperatures here, nowhere but down as we head towards the weekend. Maybe hard-pressed to get above 70 for a day or two at the end of this week and into the upcoming weekend. So if you're attending an outdoor wedding or something Saturday, not a great day. Not only should there probably be at least a little rain, it's going to be pretty cool for the end of June. The longer range, we're going to stay mostly below average through the 4th of July, although we may get a little closer to average beyond the holiday. So that's the overall trend in the longer range. Now, what about the rain? Everybody's tired of the rain. Here's the climate forecast system deviation from average rainfall estimates in 10-day chunks here. Here's the next 10 days. Maybe still a little above average because, again, we're going to be dealing with some wet weather at times, certainly over the next 5-6 days. And then the next chunk from the 27th through the 7th of July, maybe still above average, but not by much. Definitely not as wet of a pattern. And then beyond that, we should have a fairly typical period setting up for a lot of July. And July is one of our wetter months typically anyway, so it's not like we'll be hurting for rain in July. We'll get some. But I think July overall, compared to the averages, will be quite a bit drier than June, which is probably going to be a top 5 month for rainfall here in the Youngstown area. Thanks for watching the Monday night weather for Weather Geeks. Full update on the forecast tonight, 21 News at 11. Be sure and follow me on Facebook, meteorologist in front of my name, and I'm Eric WFMJ on Twitter. Have a great night.